Shall we just explain about your little croaky voice? It's not been very well again, people.
I'm on a new weight loss
You're
program.
literally like a sickly child now. No, this is last time you're not well. It was a little bit of a small cough, cold.
That was man flu. It's very serious.
Now it is proper
Bottom flu.
everything flu. I
Well,
mean,
it
you
started
thought
started top end.
well, you thought
then
it
went
was
both
like
ends.
a 24-hour bug thing.
I was hoping it was.
You either food, like dodgy yogurt, wasn't my food
No, it
because we
wasn't
had
that.
the same
It wasn't
thing.
that. It wasn't that.
No, but that's what you thought
okay.
initially it might be, because you felt sick and then you made yourself sick and then you thought that was it, and then it just carried on and carried on. Sorry, if you're eating a breakfast, lunch or dinner or eating anything at this point, you may want to just
I won't go too graphic, I promise.
scoot through.
But it did make me realise that how blokes, men and women, so I think men are quite good at short injuries, like being hit or a cut. It's when things prolong, we're rubbish.
Well, thank God you don't do childbirth.
So I was laughing.
Sorry, sneaky
I was
dogs trying to
actually,
sneak in.
when I was throwing up, you always have those periods after you throw up where you feel better again. And then one time, I don't know, third or fourth time I was getting up, I got up, got cramp in my left quad, couldn't walk to the bathroom, didn't know which end it was going to come out of, but actually did have a little kind of slight
You get
giggle.
hysterical, I think. You get to a point of like, this is just so ridiculous.
But I did think,
I need
well,
to laugh.
if everything's coming out now, I'll be fine. Not tomorrow, but the
So
day
this
after.
was like 5 days ago.
Thursday night, and it's now Tuesday.
So yeah, Thursday night you were ill. Friday you were just useless in bed. And then Saturday, because you'd had a good night's sleep Friday night, you thought you'd be okay, and you decided to take Flynn to his rugby against my advice.
She told me off.
Because it's like when the kids
Yeah,
are ill.
but-
Yeah, but when the kids are ill, they like have a sleep or they have something to eat, and then they feel brilliant. And then about half an hour later, they've flagged again.
But I've been going stir crazy.
I know, but like being super ill and then going dogging with your friend Steph.
It wasn't the fast walk.
It doesn't matter. You're out of the house, having to talk to people, using energy for more than 4 hours. You can barely last about an hour and a half at the minute.
No, I'm
without
an
having
animal.
to have a
I'm
sleep.
up to 2 now.
Well, you're doing very well. You're back eating a bit again.
Yeah.
Soup
Yeah.
and broth.
But it did make me realise that the difference
Oh, dear Jesus.
between how
Sorry,
people
people.
cope.
We will stop if there is an interlude.
No, fine now. I've got a nice cup of tea now.
Cup of tea. The difference between, you were saying?
Just saying how women can cope with longer term discomfort and pain much better than men.
Yes, can't we, Ziggy? Ziggy's here with her paws crossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like when the Bond was it the one with
Pussy
the cat?
galore?
No, when the cat. No, with the Blofeld or whatever.
Yes,
it was with
well remembered. You don't remember 80s trivia like that. Bond. You don't do Bond. Star Wars you don't do.
do Bond.
Star Wars.
No, less Star Wars.
Name me 3 Star Wars characters.
Princess Leia,
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Okay, not fair.
The big 3.
Is there another one?
What's Harrison Ford's character?
Yeah, but what's the hairy thing?
Oh, Chewbacca.
Well done.
What's Harrison Ford's character, Mr. Star Wars geek? Come on. What's his name?
Who?
Harrison Ford's character.
Yeah. Oh, his character in it.
Yeah, come on. Giving it all the big, I'm such a Star Wars fan.
That his name is R2D2. C3PO.
No.
Han Solo.
There we go. Han Solo.
Sounds like, that's like a magic trick.
Oh, I was thinking of something.
Oh, we got another guess.
Oh, we have yogis come in.
Hello,
You want to be
Yogi.
any yogs? It's literally... Oh, no, he's not
Sandy's
interested. He's gone out. He's gone out the room again.
Okay.
Out the room. Yes, so I think women, and I don't know what it is. I think women just... I don't know. I wouldn't say I have good endurance, generally. But I just think it's survival. Maybe it's just a DNA mothering instinct that we have that gives us a hardier...
Ability to tolerate low,
Just
long...
survival. It's survival. You have to just get on with it.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying that...
No, I don't mean that you haven't... I haven't done that to you. I haven't said just get on with it. But I mean, as in it's just an instinct. It's not something that I consciously do. I was thinking, what if I'd had to drive Flynn to school and you're just throwing up everywhere or whatever? You know, either you call in help, ask a friend, 50-50.
Yeah.
or
Past the-
you just have to try. I remember having to dry Flynn on like massive flu where I could barely lift my head off the pillow.
But that's what I was telling you. You
Because
couldn't
there's
remember.
no other option. You have to do
You
it.
could remember that time you were watching her hockey
Yeah.
and you were properly ill. Like you couldn't get enough layers on you. And
Yeah.
shivering and just waiting for a hockey practice to finish.
Yeah, it's just like the longest hockey. I mean, you know, most parents would go, right, you're not going because I'm ill, but because we're nutters.
Yeah.
But you did. It's exactly what you did Saturday morning. You went, even though you felt rubbish. Because you do, like you say, you go a bit stir crazy. You want to do stuff. You're used to being out and active and doing stuff. And when you can't do what you normally want to do or can do, then you go a bit
Twitchy,
mad.
stir crazy. Shawshank.
Ziggy, can I put you down, please? Because
You're
I'm
getting
wearing
hairy.
black.
You got hairy
And
breasts.
you are going to... I've always got hairy breasts, but, you know... I'm now covered in a million white hairs. Right, dog down. I look like I've just molted all over myself.
Don't look at me.
So what else have you been up to apart from...
Well, the gym's
boy.
progressing nicely. We've now dug either koi
We're going back to your big holes.
Yeah, got a big hole. We've dug out to allow for ceiling height for people to train and press overhead and lift heavy things.
We've got
So
what
we've
we're
now
calling
dug
it. We're
out.
calling it lifting pit.
It's the pit, not even the.
pit.
It's not even lifting,
No,
just
it's
the
just
pit.
the pit. You go
Put people
in the pit.
So we dug out a 10 metre by 3 metre hole. Harry the hole, very
When we
good.
say we've dug out, we
The
haven't
most
actually dug
manicured
out.
beard I've ever seen.
So I've not met Harry the Hole.
I think you might quite like
He
Harry.
sounds like a Guy Ritchie character, though. I think he should be in a Guy Ritchie
Yeah, but he's
film.
quite young. He's mid-20s.
Oh,
Good
well,
looking
why not
guy.
met Harry the Hole.
Well,
You've kept me away from Harry and his hole.
yeah,
I could show Harry my hole.
he's very manicured. So he's dug a 10 by 3 metre hole. And that's all the dirt got picked up today. Oh, here we go.
Yogi,
Here
oh
we
bless
go.
him. We have
Good
got
boy.
a whole room of
Good boy.
leads, and
Good
his
boy.
eyesight's not very good, but he's just done a
made
whole like matrix.
Good lad. So they've done that. We went down today just briefly to meet the electricians. They're putting lighting in, and you can set certain moods, different moods.
I did ask if
setting.
they have disco ball, disco lights.
No disco
He
ball.
said yes. He
I'm
said
sure he
yes.
could. He could
Yeah.
do anything. Actually, we should use him here because our lights don't work. So that's all very exciting. So yeah, it's progressing. Hopefully, I think mid-Jan's more realistic.
Yeah,
Something
you want
like
it to be right. You don't want to rush things just for the sake of it.
that. Exactly. So yeah, no, it's all good.
It's very exciting because it's literally round the corner.
But I find
And right on the
it's a
river.
bit like, I always say this, I think I've said this to you before, when you like, you know, when you asked to write a CV or you've got to write a bio about yourself, or like every day is different. So some days I wake up and I'm really excited about it and I can't see any issues along the way, and then the next day I wake up and go, oh God, what about this, what about
I
that,
think that's
what
just
about that?
normal human instinct, isn't it? If you sort of woke up in a bubble every day.
But do you think these like massive entrepreneurs, these guys that just go for it, have that doubt? I bet they don't.
No, wasn't it Richard Branson always said, just say yes and then work out how to do it afterwards?
That was it.
That's what he used to do, apparently. He used to just say, yeah, you can do that,
Can do that.
and then just work out how to do it along the way.
Okay.
I mean, he's done all right.
He's done all right.
He's done all right. Apart from
Apart
going
from Virgin
for space.
Brides.
I mean, I'm going for space. I mean, come on. That's just wrong.
I think that's a bit like buying a football club or a rugby club. It's like an ego thing. Like if you can beat Elon Musk to get to space, or whoever's the first private person to fly people to space, surely that can never make money. I mean, how many people can
I
you
mean,
get?
think of the millions and trillions they've spent trying to do it. And
That's what I mean.
Bezos and all these people. It's just willy-wanging, but on another level.
Cosmic willy wanging.
Just willy-wanging. You know, I've got so much money, I don't know what to do with it. I know, let's just try and go to space, be the first person in space.
I mean, it obviously is cool. So our mate Dilly, he did that free fall thing, you know, where you're on the plane and then they drop altitude and you have no gravity in the plane.
Right.
What do they call it? The Chunder.
We're back to Chunder again.
Yeah, they call it not the Chunder rocket. It's some alliteration. I can't remember. Oh, but you're free for you're gravitationless.
So it's like being in space.
Yeah, but I think it's for quite some time. They get super high and then drop. It's like 2 minutes or something, and everyone.
Oh, not a simulator. They're actually in a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like a simulator.
Yeah, he went up with a.
I can't remember
army
that.
once.
Was
Yeah,
that like a long time ago? Before
yeah,
I met you?
yeah.
Or
Maybe pre 1997. Everything happened in 97.
Yeah.
You weren't
Your
14
life
though,
started in 1997.
did it?
The fun started.
Could you turn your necklace, please?
So I've got next month's bought this for me, and it says, well, can you remember what it says in it?
You are my sunshine.
Thank you. Just checking.
Well, I know.
Well, I'm just checking. You might have forgotten. You don't even know. You used to remember when my birthday was. You used to say it was a completely different day. You knew the month. You get the day wrong.
God, keep you mean?
No.
Treat you mean, keep you keen.
Well, it didn't really, did it? I mean,
Yeah, it did. You're still
idiot.
there.
And
You're
thought
still
you were an
there.
Idiot. I had to keep reminding you.
Yeah, well, you maybe thought I was like special.
Well, I always think you're special.
See?
Just different special to what you think.
And then the other thing we're trying to do in the gym
Here
is
we go.
only employ ginger people.
Ginger space.
Because we've been
It's called
bullied all our
personal
lives.
space right now.
Yeah, it's going to be ginger space or Auburn space. African sunset space.
Doesn't work. It's not the same.
Caribbean sunrise.
Ginger space. It's got to be.
Okay.
But what if
And gingers can't tolerate pain as much.
I sent that to you?
Yes.
I did.
I know.
Thank you.
Why?
You didn't reply to me. You didn't even. You
I'm not very good at that.
haven't brought it up.
But you
until
send
this
so
second.
much stuff.
Yeah, because
You're constantly on Instagram.
interesting.
You are constantly on Instagram.
No, scroll. Something pops up. It's funny.
How much time do you spend on Instagram a day?
I don't know.
Go on.
I don't know.
Have
no
a guess.
idea.
Have a guess.
3 hours.
A day.
Probably. On and off. I'm not literally sitting for 3 hours on it.
No, I know you're
It's
not.
my mindfulness. It's literally
Yeah,
like,
but is it? They say
it
it's
is
not.
for me. It is for me. It literally stops my brain thinking about 3 million other things, and I just focus on dribble and funny memes or whatever. I literally scroll, but if something's funny or is relevant, then I
But what
just
they're
send
saying
it to
now
you.
is people.
I send it to you. I send it to you all the kids because then it reminds me. Otherwise, it's gone. Wiped from my memory.
But they're saying that people scroll so quickly now that if you don't catch their attention within, I don't know what it is.
3 seconds or something.
Is it that short?
No, but then it depends on. It's a bit like anything. It depends on, like you were saying about your different mood. We wake up. Sometimes you're doubting stuff. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're engaged. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes I can literally. Should I say sometimes? How many more times?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes I can scroll and then quite happily watch someone doing something really mundane. Hands up, please. Please put a hand up.
No, what's it? Clap.
Hand up to answer a question.
I remembered something. Go on. You'll forget if I say it.
But that's what I mean. So some days I can watch, and then other days my attention span's a lot less. It just depends on not necessarily what the engagement of
Do
their
you do
thing
breathing?
is.
Do you do med? Do you believe in that breath control stuff? Not breath control, but breathing.
Yeah, I do that quite a lot actually. Actually,
All right, calm down.
whatever. I used to say that a lot, didn't I? Whatever.
Yeah.
And when we went to New Zealand,
Yes.
and they bought me a top, Gordon and Bridget,
Yeah.
my friends,
And you had no idea.
with whatever.
And you were like, why have you got me this?
Whatever.
You say it all the time.
Yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, whatever. So I did it before Towie, actually. Thanks.
What's doing?
The only way is Essex.
Ugh.
Yeah, so
That's bollocks.
stop it.
That's bollocks.
Well, I know the programme's rubbish, but
Well,
you
say-
keep slagging off people in Essex. Stop slagging
No,
people
I'm
off in
not.
Essex.
I'm not saying off.
You have done.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
But that's not about Essex to me. I'm
Well,
not
it's called
slagging off.
The Only Way is
Yeah,
Essex.
but I'm not
so
saying.
it
I'm
is
saying
about
off the show,
Essex.
not about if it was
Okay.
the only way is
I
Epsom.
don't get those shows either.
The only way is Epsom. That would be good. Ashley Centre.
Ashton Centre.
Um,
Leicester Bowden.
What's it called when you like the sound of things? I can't. ASMR.
ASDMR or something.
I don't know what it stands for.
No.
But I do
People
actually.
send
There's
it
a thing
into
on
our-
Instagram where the
Not
guy.
another couples podcast Instagram. Please tell us because we've forgotten by next week.
Sound anyway, but there's a thing on Instagram where it's basically a guy cleaning dirty rugs. But that's not ASMR because I don't have the sound
Oh
on.
no, I've seen him. Yeah.
It's so therapeutic. You
Yeah.
sit there and go, what's that going to be? Yeah. Oh,
So years ago, Kirsty Young, presenter, Scottish.
Scottish.
I don't know why I have to say that when they say Scottish, but you do.
Ali, we Ali.
Scottish. Kirsty Young, who's a brilliant broadcaster, presenter.
Right.
Well, she is.
Okay.
She is. And I listened to her on, I think it might have been Fern Cotton. Well, I respect people who are good at their job. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Is that right?
Right. Fine. Carry on.
Anyway. And she was speaking very eloquently because she's a brilliant broadcaster and presenter. Should I say it again? No,
Sometimes.
I love her. No, she was talking on Fern Cotton's podcast about how her mother had said, you know, nowadays, because we're all so busy rushing around and doing loads of stuff, that we don't ever just stop and stare at the wall and have that downtime. Because there's all these other, you know, whether it's phones, things. So she said you need to have your sit and stare at the wall time. So this is a long time ago, I listened to this because Flynn was at primary school and they started playing cricket.
Oh yeah.
And I remember sitting, gone from quite frenetic sideline watching of football and rugby, screaming, yelling, quite stressful. And then you watch cricket and it's just so boring. Sorry to people who play cricket, but it's quite boring, especially...
Well, I was going to say that.
Especially at like young age when they're starting to learn, when boys don't really know, any of the kids don't really know what they're doing apart from boys who played cricket since they were born. And so it's quite slow and it's quite boring. So one of the mums, we sat there and we were like, she's going, oh God, this is just so boring. I said, no, this is our sit and stare at the wall time. This is our like quiet downtime.
Well, that's what I'm saying with Instagram. I don't think that's true mindfulness because you're getting input all the time. If you're just staring at a landscape or letting your mind actually naturally wander rather than being stimulated, I honestly think there will be lots of research about how bad it is for concentration levels, everything.
Depends
on... No, you're cutting in now. I haven't finished.
No,
I haven't finished. Wait, this is great. No, I haven't finished.
Well, I have.
Oh, good.
You have.
So that's what I'm saying. You know I nag about this, but I honestly think they will just... people's concentration levels are so much less. I find myself in the middle of actually doing some work, grabbing my phone, not because it's beeped or rung, and actually clicking on Instagram. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I mean, that app they had I thought was brilliant, the tree one. Can't remember what it's called, where you could set a time.
When they were doing their revision for exams.
Yeah, they set a time, and if they didn't touch their phone or look at their phone, then they grew a little tree.
Or got a blueberry, or
get a blueberry.
But if you did touch your phone, you killed your tree.
I killed my tree. I got it all wrong. I didn't know what I was doing.
Was it not flow? It was something like
flora, wasn't it?
Flora
very good idea.
But no, I agree with you on that. However, I think it also depends how your train of thoughts are, because I have the Calm app,
right?
And on there's like 10-minute mindful meditation type stuff where they talk you through things, and a lot of the time it's like, look, you just be in the present. So you don't have to lie still and have no sound and your thoughts only on what they're saying. Your mind will always naturally wander unless you're a Buddhist monk. You literally will wander, and that's okay. And you just acknowledge that it's wandered and bring it back again. So there's ways of doing it, sort of not trying to... Because I always think meditation, you have to literally sit and do nothing and think of nothing. And that's almost impossible to do.
Yeah, you just let one thought lead to another. And
yeah, but it's almost like then you concentrate, you have to train your mind to concentrate on something else. So you bring it back into whether you hear one sound, whether it's like the fridge buzzing or a bird tweeting, so you focus just on that one sound. So then your mind is focused on that rather than jumping all over the place to all the million things that is going on in your head externally. So there is that. So I think for me, sometimes just scrolling actually it's almost like I'm just on that one thing. I don't always have the sound on, so I'm not getting like blasted.
But you know how you suddenly find yourself that you've been sucked into the vortex and you've been doing it for half an hour. Can you?
No, I don't think my concentration lasts that long, even on Instagram.
But it definitely makes me less productive, and I think it makes you less productive. They make everyone less productive because
it's a distraction. It's a habitual distraction, I would say.
Good word.
I'm getting so
Jesus Christ! Since I've been ill, you've got.
Yeah, I've sapped all your brains. The 2 tiny brain cells that were there, have gone.
You've got a very big head.
Doesn't mean it's full.
It is.
Full of what?
Brains.
Sawdust. What is it with you? Every time we sit on the
cold.
chair... No, you do this every week, where you
rub my crutch,
your inner thighs or your crutch. Is this just a bloke thing, or is this just...
Well, it's just because you don't do it anymore. So
I don't rub your crutch?
No.
Okay.
So if you did it more, I wouldn't do it.
No, I think that's a lie.
Well, let's try it.
I think you've always done it. I'm not going in the bedroom with you. You've been ill.
Well, wait till I'm better.
I've literally been
I'll disinfect myself. I'll cover myself in milk of magnesia. What's milk of magnesia? What was that?
Milk of magnesium. Was that for like...
Is that for stomach stuff?
Yeah, you should have some of that now.
I know.
What's it
called?
That was like drinking chalk.
So this is what's terrible. So do you remember back in the day I did that advert for Zoton?
Yeah.
Which was an anti-acid thing. They flew us out to go water skiing.
You did loads of stuff.
Yeah, and then... and now I've got anti-acid from this bug thing. I'm like lying there in bed going, oh, is this what it feels like?
I need Zoton.
I need Zoton Man to come and save me.
Zoton. Yeah, that was a pretty cool trip though, wasn't it?
Clearwater, Florida. You've still got the top.
I have. We were with a sports agency.
No, they did a naughty.
No, but we were.
Yes.
That's how you got the Zoton job originally.
Yeah.
You don't have to like drop Zoton or the advertising company into it.
I think it's dead now.
But you know what I mean. Well, obviously dead.
There's out on the product.
Closed. Yes, finished.
Yeah.
Okay, so I...
You can talk about a product dying. It's not
but
like
that's-
it's personal.
It's dead. Everything's like dead and doom and gloom.
I mean, well.
I know you're not been well. Yes, we all know you've not been well.
Yeah, that was an amazing trip.
So, yeah.
So I'd done a few things already. I'd done...
Well, they're down in the cellar, aren't they, the photos? You've got, like,
Yeah.
high jump, athletics
Oh, yeah, hurdling
stuff.
ones.
High jump, did you do?
No, that was a building one. Hurdling, javelin, starting blocks.
So it was a sports
It was all
agency.
in Manchester.
Yeah, a sports agency used to, obviously, a bit like modelling, but it was for people who supposedly...
Couldn't model,
For
but
sport.
could run.
No, but they wanted more athletic bodies, which was utterly ridiculous, because I remember going to a few castings and there was me and about 4 other girls who actually looked like they'd done sport in their life and had athletic, muscular, lean bodies, and then the rest were like 6 foot
Just skinny.
girls that just had a tiny bit of flesh on them, so they were seen as athletic, who couldn't do anything. So I think I was at Crystal Palace for a day doing all this futuristic clothing stuff, and then we had to do some trampolining and swimming.
The first job, so I remember, because my athletics coach at the time, Judy Vernon, Arms, was mates with Yvonne, who ran the agency.
Well remembered.
Look at that.
Jesus.
It's because I was slept so much. And she said, sign me up. And she says, a casting at Crystal Palace, which is where I was training at the time. And we turned up and they were looking for hurdlers. And pretty much most of our squad were there, who were hurdler squad. And then I ended up getting picked, and it was for Adidas under the Westway. Put me in my own, what they called, not RV, what are those, Winnebago. Is it Winnebago? Those silver things.
Yeah.
Is it Winnebago?
Yeah, well, like a trailer.
Yeah,
Trailer
I thought they had a name though. So anyway, it was amazing. I got paid like ridiculous amounts for a day's filming, and I thought this is the way
1995.
forward.
This is it. I've made it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think you did that before I met you.
Yeah,
I don't remember doing that one.
yeah, that was the first one. I suddenly thought, well, I'll give everything up. That's it. I'm going to be a sports model.
Sports model, Sports Illustrated, Superstar.
And then you
Oh, I did a
realise
few
that I just
things.
got lucky, and all the others you go to lots of cars. Actually, the castings were never like
Well, the sports
modelling.
one, I think now they use either influencers or brands, people actually who do the sport. But back then they couldn't use a lot of people who were doing the sport because their sponsors or
Insurance,
whoever
yeah, it's like
let
superstars.
them, and they probably charged a lot more money than we did. So
Very true.
they'd get people who looked vaguely like
But yeah,
them,
that
just slightly
Zoton
lower
man
level.
that ended up going, can you water ski? No, was it? Can you wakeboard? Yes. Great. And then about a day before they said, can you mono ski? I went, yeah. Can you race mono ski? A bit like Richard Branson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that. And which I could, but I wouldn't say it was any good. But they wanted that perfect spray shot, didn't they? Where you're holding on with one hand.
Got flown out. So I got to go as well, which was very, very nice, because your parents at the time were in
Naples, Florida.
Naples, in Florida, at that time that we were filming. So we tagged on the end. Part of the deal was that I could go, and then we could tag on and go and visit them, obviously with all our flights paid for already.
But it was like, I didn't realise so many, I mean, obviously, Florida was pretty much Everglades originally, but all of these internal man-made lakes, not very deep, perfectly flat, like glass, wasn't it, in the morning? It was beautiful. And all of these lakes seem to have their own water skiing clubs.
But what was funny, because we were British, they'd heard, obviously, rumours at the water ski club that they thought it was like Prince Harry or...
No, I thought they thought I was some sort of British GB.
Well, I think initially that, then there was like other rumours. The photographer was like telling us, someone said they thought it was like Prince Harry because you were ginger. But Prince Harry would have been about 4 at the time. Maybe it was like
How dare you?
a royal or something.
Maybe it was Prince Charles. Chucky.
It would have been worse. He's like 70, 80 or whatever
Prince
he is.
Andrew go around shagging everyone.
Yeah, let's not go there.
But I don't sweat.
You definitely sweat.
Yeah, good point.
So we got taken up. So they were all like turned up. I remember on the first day turned up to watch you.
Yeah, you
Because
could
a lot of
hear this kind of groan.
Well, a lot of these
from the
guys were like
banks.
super, that's all they did was like water ski and mono ski. Like,
Special gloves. I've got a special shin guard to stop the water spraying up on the back leg.
yeah. But you got, I mean, from haven't, you could do it and you have done it, but it wasn't something we practiced every weekend was going for a mono ski. You're just naturally quite good at doing lots of sports.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Suzie.
It's really annoying.
Thank
So
you.
we turn up and you start, and obviously the first few times you fell in and got used to it.
Day once.
Just to make them all feel more human.
Yeah.
And obviously because you're doing a shoot, you have to constantly repeat. So I think your forearms were getting
Oh yeah, they were mashed.
shredded. And then I had a go as well. And no one told me about I think, no, I just did 2 skis. I don't think I dropped.
Yeah, you dropped.
No, I
you
did
drop a ski.
And then, but no one told me where to put my foot. So I'd never done it. So I went up on 2 skis.
You just kind of held it out.
And so I was like balancing on one leg for ages and wondering how to get my foot back round.
What's funny? Just shout at you.
But it was freezing, wasn't it? Do you remember? I can't remember what time of year it would have been.
Well, no, because they wanted to do it first thing in the morning when the water was proper glassy.
Yeah.
And so the air temperature was cold. The water was all right.
No, but it was cold as in, exactly. So it was like the early morning, which was cold. And we'd gone thinking we're going to Florida. There was some noisy children outside. Gone to Florida and thinking it'd be really, really hot, which it was most of the rest of the day. So we had to buy, that's why I've still got my Swiss ski, whatever it is.
What if it's still going? Imagine it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
What
good.
other shoots did you do? I can't remember. Oh, you went and then you did the ice tennis. That was a cool one.
Audi. Yeah. And then met some great mates from it as well. Still mates with.
So who was on that one? So you'd done Gladiators by then, because obviously we were together.
Yeah.
And so it was, you went to the audition, you had to go to an ice rink somewhere to practice.
No, that was after. So the first audition was at, I think, Regent's Park Tennis Club.
Oh, okay.
So they needed one tennis pro. This one guy.
Someone who would actually play tennis
Yeah.
properly.
And then 3 people who kind of recreational standard. And so Piers, who was one of the other contestants.
He won it, thank you.
Oh, yeah, Piers won it. He
won
won the
Was
Jeep.
it your year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
then,
he was one of the male contenders on
then Max
Gladiators.
Manganello, which translates as the Truncheon.
Max Truncheon.
What a great name. Imagine being called the Truncheon.
The Truncheon.
And he was a lover, not a fighter. Very funny.
That was his own words.
No, he just so funny. Yeah. Whenever a woman came into the room, hello. Hey,
If you could find a stereotypical
beautiful lady.
comedy actor playing an Italian, that would be Max.
Well, there was that story that we went to go and stay. We did that ski race at his place in Gressone
Should you be talking
in
about
the
this?
Aosta Valley. Yeah. This was before he was married, so he hasn't done anything wrong. But his family were running a hotel.
Yeah, small family.
And then I
run
came
hotel.
down at 2 a.m. to get a drink. And he was naked at the bar with 2 other girls. And I said, I just want a drink. He goes, of course you can, but you have to be naked as well. So you just sit there at the bar with 2 naked Italians.
Oh, you didn't tell me that bit.
Oh, no, one was him. Oh, no, 2 girls.
Sorry, you didn't tell me that you got naked to get a drink.
That was the rules.
Here we go. Told
I
you.
didn't touch anything.
Told you this podcast was going to make or break our marriage. That's
I
it.
didn't touch anyone.
Oh, here we
Maybe
go.
Max.
I was there, sleeping away
Yeah.
by myself upstairs,
That was me with my...
minding my own business.
But because I'm...
No wonder you want to
I
go
ju-
back next year. The next year without me. Jesus.
Never happened, though. This, I think they still
So
do.
who did? Oh, that was quite cool. There was this off-piste ski race, wasn't it? That's what you were out there for.
Yeah, sponsored by Sunto, the Finnish GPSy watch place.
And you got to ski with Graham. I always get this two wrong. Graham Bell.
What's the other brother called?
Martin, is it? Graham
No,
Martin.
Martin's a journalist, isn't he?
Skiers.
Martin Bell.
The skiers, anyway.
Yes, and it did make me real. I thought I was a good skier, and it was basically a race from the top to bottom. You could go whichever way you wanted. People jumping, clearing
snowboard,
cliffs,
ski,
yeah,
mono
whatever.
ski,
And I was in a went off in threes, and the girl in my group was wearing big pair of white overpants, like dirty Y fronts. And then I found out she was part of the ex-Italian downhill squad.
She got a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Yeah, and she was unbelievable. I couldn't even keep close. Within 200 metres she'd gone. And they were just doing these massive jumps.
Yeah, but whereas you, like, if you see a steep slope, you would maybe, ski straight down it. They would just jump it, wouldn't they?
If there was moguls, they'd make jumps before it to clear the mogul field. It was unbelievable. So the time it took me to come down once, so we had to do 2 runs, go down, you had a chip on your boot, go back up, and then do it again. The time it took me for my 1 run, the winner did it for their 2. And I thought I was a psycho skiing. I was just like, unbelievable.
Well, you did ski with, so Graham Bell had done the Celebrity Gladiators a few years before that.
Right, okay.
And we spoke to him, and then you skied a bit. He said, try and stay with me.
Yes, he was in the lift on the way up with me.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, just follow my line. And he was in his downhill skis, like 2.40 metre things. Realise how good these people are. I mean, he was very, very good, but he wasn't top 10 or anything. I think he got ranked top 50 maybe, and you suddenly
they were
realise.
all utter nutters there.
But you realise that with all sports, it's like the elite level.
There's a big difference, isn't there, between being good at something and even being a national champion at something, and then international level. So I remember going to
then
watch
there's international, and then there's
the
that.
top
Yeah.
2% of the international.
So he was an international skier, brilliant skier, and then
not
you
in that
suddenly
sort of
put him
top.
with Tombo or whoever it
Yeah.
was in his era, and they just
I remember going and watching Krista Cullen. Amber was a ball girl at Wimbledon Hockey Club when Krista Cullen had just won, obviously, I think about 2 years before they'd won the Olympics. And just watching, on the team there, they're all Ed Sheeran's wife was playing. She was his girlfriend at that point. Cherry.
yeah, Cherry,
Cherry is her name.
is it?
Yeah. And a lot of the girls on the team, women on the team, were England, Scotland, national champion, national representation, really high level. And then you had her, and it was like a completely different.
Oh, she did that flick you were saying, literally from.
She's a very strong Amazonian, towering, quite scary person to be on a hockey pitch with if you're on the opposition. Brilliant if she's on your side. But it was just incredible to watch, be that close to it in a sort of a local game, I suppose. It was a very intense game. But just her domination on the pitch of where and how, and she literally from one end, a flick from literally one end
all the way
to the
other,
other,
pinpointing to one of her players.
Exactly, to one of her players. It was, the skill level was just...
And that was when she was retired from international.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Unbelievable. So it is... If you ever get a chance to go and watch...
Is it a little bit like your golf?
What? I'm so good.
Yeah.
I just don't play.
Yes.
Because I don't want to embarrass everybody.
Exactly.
That is exactly like my golf. My golf's all right. If I have a tee peg on the fairway.
You're very good.
I'm very good because
You
I play
quite liked it,
once
didn't
every
you?
15 years. Yeah, but I go about 7 holes, 8 holes, and then lose interest.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a bit... Actually, in the buggies was more fun. Not because I'm lazy and I don't want to walk, but just speeds it up.
Yeah.
Just speeds it up. I don't mind walking. It just speeds it up. I saw a thing on Instagram. This guy had a little motorbike.
You did send
Golf
that to
thing.
me. Another thing you sent
I
to
can't
me.
remember if I sent it to you or Flinny. One of them. If it's golf related, I'll send it to him usually.
Yeah, there we are.
But yeah, so sports, go and watch an international level sport just for the...
Well, they say that with the Olympics, that occasionally it doesn't really happen anymore in the Worlds or the Olympics. Do you remember before that a team would put in a...
Or Eric the Eel.
Yeah, exactly. They'd put a run and you suddenly realise that actually that person, there was the shot putter, I think she was Fijian.
And she did the hurdles.
She did the hurdles?
Yeah.
That's not a very good example because she just walked over the hurdles. But they have a sprinter and you suddenly see the sprinter run 12 seconds, which is obviously slow for international. But for most people, they'd love to be able to run a 12-second 100. And they're 25 metres behind at the end or 20 metres behind. And you're like, oh...
But I think that's quite good when they do put, like now, obviously digitally and with technology, they can actually put someone who's a good level, like club or even national level runner or whatever sport they're doing behind someone, say like Usain Bolt or someone running, and you actually just see the difference. Because like you say, when you go to watch the Olympics, everybody's good. They're all good. So there's such a fine level between them. You can't really tell if you tried that sport.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And then that's the problem.
If you get on to play, like I played at the LTA a long, long time ago with some long time because it's Tim Henman and Greg Rosetsky. And it was me and Chris Akabusi, which was just hilarious. We were like, go on, Greg, just serve. Because he, at that point, had one of the fastest serves. I think it was him and Roddick, wasn't it? Who had the
Roddick overtook him.
But Greg Rosetsky had the fastest serve. And we were like, just see if we can see it or near the ball or whatever. Absolutely no chance. I think Chris Akabusi got...
Imagine he's got amazing responses. But
yeah, I mean, he was just laughing. I couldn't do it because I was just laughing at his laugh. His just laugh just makes me laugh.
He's brilliant.
Not funny. But there we are. Brilliant. So we're going to wish Mark better. I hope he feels better.
Thank you.
He's literally wasting away before our eyes. So it's literally like...
I'm back eating.
You are back. You didn't need to have a sick bug. You're not someone who can cope with losing weight, really.
No.
Because you're about the right weight for what you need to be. And if you lose too much, it's not good. Okay. So we need to bulk you up again.
Okay.
You're going bulking. What could you do for bulking?
Protein.
Always.
Protein.
We need to go because he needs a little nap now. I can see he's literally falling asleep.
I've done very well.
You've had a lot of sleep though, haven't you?
Well, it's just been this weird... I wouldn't say it's... If I was wearing all those ridiculous things I used to wear, it would
Monitors,
be saying...
he means, yeah.
Well, the Aura or the Whoop, it would be saying that your sleep quality was poor and you're not sexy enough anymore. It does tell you this.
Does it?
I put a separate...
An extra...
Yeah. Standard of sexiness. Sorry.
Such a weirdo.
They say fidgeting. Oh, there was a study on fidgeting.
Yeah.
So if you just twitch your leg like that, you're twitching your soleus muscle,
Yeah.
which is a muscle that can go on forever.
Right.
It's very much an endurance-based muscle, and just doing that alone has a dramatic effect on controlling blood sugar levels.
Oh. Well, I do. My foot goes up to the side though normally.
That doesn't count.
So I have
down.
to pin my heels like that when I.
You don't have to.
Well, I do because it's.
No, you don't.
No, because then it stops me fidgeting.
What's the matter with fidgeting?
Well, no fidgeting, but I'm talking and I don't want to always...
Look like you're playing with yourself.
Playing with myself, am I?
Well, you could look like
my
you are.
leg is twitching normally. I find these chairs, actually...
Oh, here we go.
No, but I don't...
Do something about it.
These chairs are
Do something about it. You
ones.
talk about these things. They go and get some chairs.
Where are we going to put them?
Oh, work it out.
Work it out. Say yes, and then work it out.
You say yes and do it.
I prefer to be like somewhere I can like
Loungy.
around.
Well, then we get 2 chairs instead of that blue thing which attracts dog hairs, and you get 2 seats that you
lounge
like.
on that. I could just sit
You'd
cross-legged
be
on
useless.
that.
I'd be feeding you like Nero.
No, not lie on it. Just like sit cross-legged. Or I just need to move. I just find this so restrictive.
Well, then do something about it.
That's why I wasn't very good at sitting at school.
You were meant to paint your mirror years ago. You never painted your mirror.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Oh,
Well,
go back to being ill.
oh, it's nice.
Quiet then.
Well, you said you were going to.
So many things.
Well, then get on with it.
I have to look
Come
after
off Instagram.
all 3 of you lot. That's my like.
No, you don't. Amber's gone.
She's still here in spirit.
In spirit with her little baby
Look
hands.
at these dogs. Look at them.
Yeah, that's a high maintenance. Very high
Desperately
maintenance.
need my attention. Well, that one does. The small one's constant. I was giving him a sports massage last. When was it? Sunday night, Monday night. Can't remember. And he was just laughing because she was such a needy pants. I was like, this is what it's like. It's literally 5 seconds. You can't do anything because she wants attention. And then we forgot. We did forget. I forgot to give Yogi his insulin last night.
Oh, yes, wee-wee's on the floor.
So there was 3 massive wees on the floor at 6:40 this morning. That was nice.
Nice little lake.
Not just 1, 3. So on that note,
Carry on.
carry on.
Let's keep on weeing.
Have a good day, everybody.
Love you.
Ciao.